Welcome back to another episode of Silent Pals Go to the Movies. Today I will be reviewing the movie Asteroid City. So just a fair warning, there's going to be spoilers up ahead, so you've been warned. Following a writer on his world famous fictional play about a grieving father who travels with his tech-obsessed family to small rural Asteroid City to compete in the junior stargazing event only to have his worldview disrupted forever. So let's begin with my first pro. This is a Wes Anderson film, so you know it's like watching something special that you have to really think about since there is a message buried deep down inside of it. Plus, just like Quentin Tarantino has his interesting dialogue, Wes Anderson has a whole package. Dialogue, scenery, audio, color grading, and star power. You name it, it's in here and he makes it work. This film had everything, so it's like a buffet for hardcore fans of Wes Anderson and also enjoyable by those who are somewhat familiar with his movies. Next pro, the star power. I mean, did he bring it? I would say it's up there in par with The French Dispatch with the amount of talent that's involved and all the actors in the movie. We have famous ones that are recurring in most of his films and new ones that seem to have been passed the torch. Some of the recurring actors are, for example, Jason Schwartzman, Edward Norton, Andre Brody, Jeff Goldblum, William Dafoe, and you also have the new ones that are being added to the Wes Anderson verse. I feel that for most of these actors, when you are asked to be in a Wes Anderson movie, you are locked in. So whenever he calls you, you automatically have to say yes, even if there's no script yet. Because I mean, look at the names that I just named. And on top of that, there's other big names that I didn't mention that sometimes just have a one line or a few seconds on film, but that talent is there. And that's the power that the Wes Anderson films have. Next pro is the color gradient. And that's for every one of his films. They have a unique color gradient or unique color tone that feels like a unique fingerprint that these films have to themselves. But they all have a unique color gradient, but at the same time, they feel similar to each other. It feels like each of his films has its own identity with the color given, and that makes it stand out. Here in this film is the feel of the desert mixed with an atomic era color scheme and tone, and also the layout with the scenery. This makes this movie stand out in its own special way. Next pro, the POV of the film. What do I mean by POV? Well, take Rushmore for example. You can see it as being presented as a play with the movie itself making a play, and also being broken up into segments with the cue cards or the title cards, and the use of the curtains to separate the movie into parts. Or take the French Dispatch. It feels like you're reading an annual magazine that compiles a lot of articles, but still, most of these articles are interconnected one way or another. Or let's take Life Aquatic, which is a documentary in its own with constant videotaping and the narration that's being placed over the film. Asteroid City is very similar to Rushmore, where it's a play, but it goes deeper than that, with Bryan Cranston at the beginning presenting it a TV piece like 2020 about the play and the writer, and even the title cards being broken up into chapters. It is a deeper version of Rushmore. Now, on to my cons. The film is more than just a reskinned version of Rushmore, but does it go overboard? In a simple answer, yes. To the audience who are just discovering Wes Anderson films, this is going to be over their heads. But to the hardcore fans, it's right up their alley and they want more of this. But I feel that all his films want to be as unique as snowflakes, but yet feel approachable. This film is great, but for some, it may be overwhelming in that they can't keep following the story because every character has its own story to tell and its characters won't develop. But you may want to focus on Jason playing Augie, the fictional father character that was made by Edward Norton, the character who's the writer of the play. It is similar to the Grand Budapest Hotel, in which you feel you are being told the story by one person who is narrating the film, but in the end is not what you started out with. We see Augie break character and ask why his character did what he did inside the play. By this, he needs to step out of the play, which is sort of shatters the world that we have been conditioned to see. This is similar in the film in parallels when the alien comes down and interacts with the humans. They are thrown in for a loop because it shatters all their knowledge that they know about the world. So we are in the same shoes as they are in a sense. So this film was a tad bit more complex than his other films. Some will get pulled out, but most of his fans will enjoy it. So my grade for this movie is going to be a mid 7 out of 10. I, as a fan, enjoyed the film and I feel that I need to rewatch it more than just once to get more out of it. But then for the normal movie fan, it will seem a bit overwhelming and they will be tuned out and not pay attention to the film. But the cast was amazing. I enjoyed seeing the recurring actors in the film from his other films, but also love seeing the new blood that's being introduced and hope that we will see them in the future in more Wes Anderson films. So that does it for this review of Asteroid City. Please join us next time where we're going to review Insidious, The Red Door.
When you awaken the dead, the further you travel, the riskier your journey will become.
Please like, comment, and subscribe. You can find our social media links below. And like always, keep watching movies.